Hey, what's up guys? Jburton here, and today I'm bringing you my Arms Warrior PvP guide for 6.2.3. Now before I jump into this, I would like to apologize for the long wait of no videos. I actually did not have internet for a full week, but I'm back now. Okay, so anyways, this guide will include talents, glyphs, stats, and macros, which the macros will be included in the description below. Okay, so starting off, first tier. Most of the time I take Juggernaut. Being able to charge every 12 seconds opposed to 20 is a big deal. For example, this will make your charge come off cooldown a lot quicker than Mage's Blink. And you'll generate rage a lot quicker, especially if you use the glyph. And more rage means more damage and more benefit from your anger management. So many reasons to take Juggernaut. But sometimes it is good to have Warbringer. Like if you're running a Warrior Lock Shaman in 3s, I recommend Warbringer. The extra charge, or not the extra stun, can help you keep that healer on the enemy team further behind. You know, if you're on somebody and then you swap to the healer, you swap with a stun. It's like one of the best switches in the game. So now you get them behind a little bit, and you have a pummel ready, or a fear, or another stun like Stormbolt. So it can be great in its own way, but most of the time I like Juggernaut. Second tier, you have to go in Rage Regeneration. It's a must. Ever since Second Wind got nerfed in WOD, it's terrible. And this heal is usable while stunned, which is probably the greatest thing about it. Next tier, you have to go Sudden Death. It's mandatory. The best thing about Warriors is your executes. And being able to use those without somebody about being dead is... I don't know what else to say. It's just so amazing. I believe Warriors have the greatest mastery in the game. And this just helps you abuse that. Okay, next tier. I normally take Stormbolt, a nice ranged stun that's only a 30-second cooldown. There's not much else to say. You can reduce the cooldown too with anger management, which just makes it even more deadly. Now you could go Shockwave if you're versing like a pet class, where it's a lot easier to get those 3 targets to reduce the cooldown, but I still most of the time prefer Stormbolt just to be able to stun the healer at range. Okay, next tier. The only time you take Vigilance is if you're in a 2v2 environment and you're versing a double DPS team. That's a burst comp setup, like a Rep Pally Feral. Though you can keep your teammate alive. But that's the only time I would take that. Mostly, I do take Mass Spell Reflect. If I do have the option to Spell Reflect a Cyclone, Polymorph, Deep Freeze, Hammer of Justice, I don't know, the list goes on, I will take Mass Spell Reflect. If I'm versing a team where I don't have to worry about Spell Reflecting anything, then I will take Safeguard. And most of the time it'll probably be used on your healer or your other DPS teammate, of course. But most of the time, Mass Spell Reflect. Now next tier, I really don't like Avatar. A lot of people do seem to use it. Well, a lot of people don't as well. It's up to you. If you're versing a team that doesn't have many CCs or slows, which is almost impossible, you can go Avatar and not have to worry about getting CC'd or slowed or interrupted. But when you start getting above, I would say maybe like 1500 to 1600 in rating, people are going to really be noticing your buffs. And like, oh, he's an Avatar. Hey, watch this. I'm going to Cyclone him. Or Fear him. Or Stun him. Whatever. It's annoying. Now, Bladestorm, if you're about to get that killing blow on somebody, oh, well, just Bladestorm. You can't be slowed and whatever. It's great. Also, if you know you're about to get CC'd and there's no way of getting interrupted, you can just Bladestorm to avoid it. I don't do that too often, but you have the option to. And it's only a 1-minute cooldown. And in the last tier, anger management. It's a must. You have to take this. If you don't take this and you get high rating, you're pretty awesome at this game, let me tell you. This talent makes it where your burst, your defensives, and your stuns come off cooldown a lot quicker. Every time you spend 30 rage, they get reduced by 1 second. That's amazing. You gotta go anger management. Okay, and glyphs. These 3 glyphs right here, I use 99% of the time. I like to use Glyph of Bull Rush coupled with Juggernaut. It just increases your overall rage generation, which helps you spend more rage, which helps you benefit more from anger management. I don't really have anything else to say. The more rage you spend, the more stuns and burst you get. Glyph of Rude Interruption, I like it because it strictly just because of execute. 6% damage increase on my execute. I don't care about the other damage increase on my other abilities. Just execute. And I'm happy. And it lasts 20 seconds. it's very possible to keep this up for the full duration, or throughout the entire arena. And then Glyph of Mortal Strike, 10% increased healing isn't much, but it can really help your healer out. You're not really a high priority target, but you're also not a target people want to avoid. So it's good still to have a little padding there. There are some other glyphs you could take. If you're running in 2v2s, I would grab Glyph of Rallying Cry, if you don't have a healer, of course. If you're versing double DPS and you're running double DPS, Glyph of Rallying Cry, and then one of the glyphs that affect your die by the sword. But most of the time, I'll take the Flawless Defense, because you 25% chance to not get crit. It's pretty good. And then in RBGs, I like to run Wind and Thunder. It just helps your cleaving ability. It's pretty nice. But in the normal 3v3 environment, these are the three glyphs I pretty much always take. Now, for minor glyphs, personally, Glyph of Blazing Trail is required, because you look like a total badass, and that helps add intimidation. You need that in arenas. It's important. Okay, anyways, let's move on to stats. It's really simple as an arms warrior. You just want mastery. That's all you want. Mastery. As I said earlier, I believe arms warriors, have the greatest mastery in the entire game. And you want to abuse that as much as possible. You do want to use your 4 set piece, however. You take damage, you get more rage. That's a great 4 set piece, because it helps you benefit more from your anger management. So it makes you more offensive, defensive, and allows you to have more stuns. It's really great. A little note, if you are lucky enough to get that accolade trinket from Hamstring that gives you mastery and strength, you better damn well be using that thing. That is the greatest thing an arms warrior could hope for. It is such a good trinket. Okay, alright guys, that is it for my warrior guide. My macros, I will include them in the description. It's just mostly about having stun affect all the arena targets, you know, instead of specifically clicking them, and other things like that. They're really simple macros. But if you did enjoy the guide, please comment, like, subscribe. It'll help me out a lot. And I plan on getting lots more videos out over the next few days. Alright guys, take care.